everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the Take 5 art for November 2018. We are doing Erin Duncan's prompts this month, and thank you, Erin. I really enjoyed this month's prompts. Definitely challenged me and definitely scared me just a little, but I am so happy with my end product, and I'm so thankful to you for pushing me like that. All right, so I've got Erin's prompts up at the top there. They are birds, a pattern or a print, blush, gold, and to use a pencil. So it's fair to say that I have decided to use the pencil this whole time. So that's prompt number 1 taken care of. Now I was going to use my mechanical pencil, but it just wasn't working for me. So I moved to just this regular 2B graphite pencil. So I am going to take care of prompt number 1 now, which is birds. So I am going to sketch this bird. Now, I have always dreamed of just picking up a pencil and a paper and sketching like crazy. I am not a very confident sketcher. Like, I think in my head, oh, it's just so easy, but I am always erasing. I'm always marking and then I'm always erasing. It's just never right. And believe it or not, a millimeter or 2 makes all the difference in my eyes. Like, I think it's right, and then I step back and take a look and I think, no, that's not right. So I then erase and then I do it again, and I come and go. And, you know, watching myself here, I it looks all right because it's sped up like times 500, but in reality this did take a long time and it was a little bit painful, but I went with it. We love Erin so much that we just stick with her prompts. So yeah, so, and because Erin said birds and not just one bird, I had to do a second bird though. So thank you very much, Erin. And so I decided to do the second bird a little bit different. Most of him got hidden behind the first bird, thank goodness. And all I really had to do was just a little bit of a head and a little bit of a body. Now, my goodness, did I struggle with the feet on the branches. Which way were the claws holding? Which way was the branches coming? That was just painful. That was just a little bit painful for me, but I got there in the end. It's really important to work with perspective when you're sketching and drawing. So I got there in the end, and I'm happy, really happy with my attempt. And of course, this is not my only attempt. I didn't just sit down to just draw this amazing bird scene. I've been drawing for about a week. I've been practicing, and I was comfortable and confident enough to say, yeah, let's turn the camera on and let's show my YouTube viewers my sketching skills. So that is my first prompt done. The birds are done. The next prompt was create a pattern or a print, and I decided to let the leaves be my pattern. So what I'm going to do now is, excuse my fluffy squirrel tail kitty here. I swear sometimes I think he does this on purpose. One time I was passing through my craft room, not going in, just passing by, and I saw him sitting on my craft desk looking up at the camera. I swear it's like he was doing his own YouTube show for his own channel. I went in and I said, Capri, what are you doing? Are you filming or something? I think he knows that my craft desk is the place where things happen, so he sometimes hangs out there now. Not only mommy, but Cabri also likes to craft and do YouTube videos. It's a joke in my family. So that is my prompt number 2 taken care of. I've done a pattern of leaves. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my Derwent Inktense pencils, and I'm just creating a swatch. I'm thinking of colors that I'm going to use for this scene, and I am supposed to be using the color blush. Now, blush to me means pink, right? So, but believe it or not, there's many shades of pink, and not all shades of pink mean blush to me. Like hot pink is not blush. Blush is like a really soft, beautiful color. And so I decided to pull out two acrylic paints that I have, one which was a pink and one which is a true red. So what I did here was I mixed the white acrylic paint with my pink to see what kind of a color that brought. And you'd think that it's pink, but once I mixed the white with the red, that created a real pink for me. And so I ended up using the red and white blush color that I created instead of the pink and white color that I created. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using the Poppy Red Inktense pencil to just see where I'm going to add that color, and then what I'm going to do is come in properly with the color blush that I created to add it to the birds. So one bird is more blush than the other bird. For the second color on the birds, I'm using this light green, and it's so strange. On the camera it looks like yellowy lime green, but it's a lovely, very pale green. And so I'm sorry the camera's converted it to such a limey, fluorescent green almost. I'm then going to go in with the black outliner, and I'm just going to outline the eyes and the beaks. Now what I'm doing is I'm just picking up some of that paint and just putting it on another journal so that there is no wastage of paint there. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to go in now to color in the leaves, and I am using a couple of different techniques. At first I was touching my paintbrush to the crayon and then applying it to the leaf, but that takes a lot of time. So what I ended up doing was just using the crayon straight onto the paper and then applying the water, and then I moved to a water brush because I was forever dipping into the water jar and applying it to the paper, and that was taking too much time. So the water brush is really good to use with watercolor pencils. For the branch here, all I'm doing is I'm using like 3 different colors of bark, willow, a little bit of red, just to give it a variegated look to the branch to make it look more real. Next, I'm going back in with my darker color green, and I'm just creating detail in the leaves just to give some kind of interest and dimension to each of the leaves. Now, I want to say that creating this layout totally reminds me of everything that is Erin. It's got the essence of Erin everywhere. If you check out Erin's YouTube channel, you'll see what kind of person she is. She does a whole lot of painting and drawing and sketching and illustrations. She does flowers, leaves, plants, villages, kids, ladies, guys. She does watercoloring, she does journaling, she does poetry. She's actually running an illustration course online. She's just an amazing person, and if that sounds like something that you're interested in, totally check out Erin's YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram. She's totally inspirational, and as you can see from the prompts that she gave us, I created something which just reminds me of Erin. So I really love these Take 5 art challenges. I think every artist that gives us her prompts gives us a little bit of her, and in turn we get to extend ourselves and try a different form of art that we may or may not be comfortable with, but it's just so beautiful to enjoy all types of personalities of art. So what I'm doing here is in the space on the right hand side, I am putting in my quote now. So I wrote it out in pencil first to make sure that it was going to fit on the page. Then I went in with my gel pen, and then I decided to stamp out just 2 of the words. So in order to see birds, it is necessary to become part of the silence. And you can see the stamp set that I used there, the Karen Sutherland Creative Worship stamp. And that quote is by Robert Lind, and it's such a beautiful quote, really. It just means, it just reminds me that sometimes you just have to be still, and then you notice around you that life is happening and it's beautiful, and sometimes it takes a while to stop and smell the roses or to stop and see the birds. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just using my black pen to fill in some of the letters in the quote. They didn't stamp out so perfectly. And then I'm going to use my gel pen and go over each of the leaves, adding more detail. So it actually looks like more illustratory more than painterly. The last prompt that I didn't know how to incorporate, but it came together really well, was that I was looking for something gold. And so I found my gold gelatos. And next to my gold gelatos was a blush gelato, believe it or not. And so I added a little bit of blush to the background just to fill in the white void space. And I decided not to go with a blue background. A blush one just seemed quite right. And I added the gold gelatos around the outside so it looked like a gilded pages sort of. It framed the layout really nicely. So I ended up with that blush / gold combination, which is just so beautiful, Erin. I would never have thought to do that. And so thank you so much for suggesting it. And because you know me, and I can never really stop, I'm back in now outlining the birds with the gel pen and making it totally illustratory and not painterly. And then the last thing was I thought it was a bit too neat, and so I decided to do black splatters, which was just totally amazing. I did chicken out a little bit and cover up the birds just in case they got sloppy. So I really love how it looks. If you guys are inspired by Erin's prompts, I want you guys to please give it a go this month. It's so much fun. Use that hashtag Take5Art and tag us on Instagram. And we're all so pleased and so happy when we see your work. We also love seeing your process videos, so definitely tag us. Let us know that you've done one, and I know I will. I will come and watch your video, and I love seeing everyone's creations. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.